Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm not going to give the litany of thank yous. That's all in my step-down letter in the program. Instead, I wanted to give you a rundown of what I did this last year. Many of you who followed me on Facebook, you know that I went to Rub Out, I went to International Ms. Leather, I went to Fist Fest twice in different states. I went to IML, I went to Mid-Atlantic Leather, I went to Folsom Street Fair, I went to Oregon Leather. I don't know how many trips that I took. But one of the key things that I want to tell our incoming title holders and any of you who think about doing this, the number of trips that I took this year that I took because of the title rather than because of my activity in the leather community, Folsom Street Fair and Richland Pride. A lot of people come into one of these titles thinking, oh my God, there's no way that I can put out the effort and put in the extra work to go to all of the events and do all of the things. And so I want to give our incoming title holders and any of the rest of you a hint. It is easy if you are already deeply embedded in your local leather community. If you are already in the habit of going to the socials, being involved in the organizations, being there supporting the existing title holders, the sisters, the court, whatever it is. It's really, if you're already doing all of that stuff, it's 10% more work plus a couple of fundraisers, which is still a lot of work, but it isn't this humongous mountain to climb. It's a hill. So if you're interested in being involved in the title community, be involved in the leather community. It's easier and it will make you a whole lot happier. Beyond that, as well, I got to do 3 workshops this year, one for Seattle Girls of Leather, one for Seattle Men of Leather, and one for Flaggers PDX in Portland. I'll be doing 2 more for Claw in Cleveland next month. I hosted 8 play parties this year. My travel fund is based on having people over to my place to have sex. One of the things that you will hear for the title holders is your year is what you make of it. Your year is your own. And that never gets explained to people. So let me explain it to you. If your passion is traveling all over the country spreading Washington love, do that. If your passion is teaching workshops, sharing your skills, do that. If your passion is expanding the sexual community in the area, do that. But for God's sakes, do something. And one other piece of explaining it all for you is one thing that our incoming title holders and everybody else hears a lot is that the title patch is a target. And that the leather community is full of politics. So here's another secret. Half of the politics is self-generated. We make our own hell. So don't send yourself to hell and you won't suffer the politics. If you don't give them something to aim at, the target is not a patch. The patch is not a target. So live your life as a title holder, as a leatherman or leatherwoman, open and free and proud. And all these things that you hear horror stories of probably will not happen. Be bulletproof. Yeah! I wanted to also share 3 pieces of advice that I've gained from people over the years. From George Wong, who was one of the founders of Avatar in LA, rest his soul. He told me at IML years ago, never tell them you're tired. Tell them you're weary, because if you tell them you're tired, they might agree with you. The second one was from previous year's IMSL, Patty. We go from titles, and yes, I will be competing at IML in Chicago, but she told me, at the end of the day, you still have to take out the trash. And the other piece comes from before the internet was the internet, back circa 1989 on one of the Usenet news groups. And this is a humbling thing for all of our title holders. There are none of us here who are more important than anyone else. There are just, I'm not done. None of us here are more important than anyone else. Some of us just have bigger mouths and are willing to use them.